Section 3 of the 14th Amendment is the disqualification clause. I'm going to read it to you, the disqualification clause of the 14th Amendment. It clearly states, quote, "No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof." What that means is if you aided and abetted or participated in an insurrection, that automatically disqualifies you from ever holding elective office again. That is why our brand new Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, should not be working with Congressman Paul Gosar, who begged Donald Trump for a pardon after January 6. He should not be working with Congressman Andy Biggs, who begged President Trump for a pardon after January 6. He should not be working with Congressman Scott Perry, whose phone was seized by the FBI last summer. These men and a lot of other Republicans are disqualified to hold elective office for the role they played in the January 6 insurrection. Let me go one step further. Any member of Congress who returned to the Capitol hours after January 6 and voted not to certify the presidential election for Joe Biden was doing Donald Trump's dirty work. They were continuing to stop the peaceful transfer of power by perpetuating a fraud, that's the second time I screwed that word, perpetrating a fraud on the American people. They were continuing the insurrection. They were continuing the insurrection after the Capitol had been cleared out. By not voting to certify the election for Joe Biden at about 3 a.m. on January 7th, 2021, they were continuing the insurrection. The purpose of that whole plan was to stop a peaceful transfer of power. They were participating in an insurrection by voting against certifying the election for Joe Biden. They were participating in the very same insurrection that Donald Trump and his gang orchestrated, and therefore, under the 14th Amendment, they are automatically disqualified from ever holding elective office again. Kevin McCarthy, our new Speaker, refused to certify the election for Joe Biden after that insurrection. And by failing to vote to certify, he continued the insurrection. And then he went to Mar-a-Lago afterwards to kiss Donald Trump's ring. And he still denies Joe Biden won in 2020. January 6 continues. January 6 continues. Trump is still calling members of Congress. He was calling the floor to get McCarthy elected Friday night. He is still running for president. Kevin McCarthy doesn't deserve to be Speaker because under the 14th Amendment, he doesn't deserve to be a member of Congress. He should be disqualified because he is an election denier who refused to certify the election for Joe Biden. McCarthy has even promised to defang the House Ethics Office to make sure nobody involved in the insurrection of January 6, including himself, will ever be held accountable. Lula of Brazil is promising to hold Bolsonaro accountable for January 8th. Meanwhile, Donald Trump walks free and has not been disqualified from running for office. And so January 6th rages on to this day.